Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you're stopping by for the first time, welcome. My name is Melissa and I love to do all things crafty on a budget, especially Dollar Tree DIYs, trash to treasure, farmhouse decor, and so much more. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love it if you would stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and then tap the bell and all to be notified every single time I upload. So for today's video, we are going to be doing some Dollar Tree farmhouse bedroom decor DIYs. I had mentioned in a previous video and asked if you guys wanted to see a bedroom makeover. I am currently in the process of doing that, so I wanted to make some decor for my bedroom. So with all that being said, let's jump right in.
I want to be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want.
So for this first DIY, this is actually a request from a lot of you. Last week I had this up in my decor when I showed the video of the project that I made, and everybody asked about this. So I wanted to bring you guys the DIY. And I start off with one of these hurricanes from Dollar Tree, and I take some painter's tape and I just kind of tape off what would be kind of like two windows, or I guess they're windows, I'm not really sure, but I kind of just looked at the decor piece that I had and then went off of that. So I just cut some pieces of tape and I make sure that they are nice and straight on the sides, and I do two of them. The top one is smaller than the bottom one, and then once I have it lined up exactly how I want it, I just go ahead and cut the excess off. After I cut the excess off, I go and I do the same exact thing for the bottom one, just make that a little bit bigger than the top one.
I did a lot of bad things, and never did I give in, just 'cause the thought of being vulnerable made me feel less than I am.
So after I have my little windows all laid out, I then go ahead and take, this is a circle cutter. If you do not have one of these, don't worry, just take a bowl or something round and just trace it on a piece of cardstock, and then you can go ahead and cut that out. But I will say that this thing comes in handy a lot. It's really nice quality, and if I remember, I can link it down below for you. It makes like a perfect circle, and it's just really easy to use. If I do forget, just remind me and I'll link it. But I then just take some scissors and I trim off the excess and cut a slit down the middle, only on half, if that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing here. And then I just kind of pull it together till I get the size of the roof that I want, and then I put a little piece of painter's tape so that I can just trim up, because once you kind of make that cone, some excess is going to hang off where it's going to be uneven. So you just cut that off, and then I just took a bead of hot glue right up that slit and I glued that, and then I did go underneath where the other part meets, and I did glue that just in case, just to give it a little bit more sturdiness, if that makes any sense at all. And then definitely make sure to watch your fingers, because I did burn myself doing this. But after that, I went outside, I took my Rust-Oleum hammered spray paint and I spray painted both of those pieces. So while that's drying, we're going to work on these signs. As usual, I start by taking the hangers off and these pesky stickers. I don't know about you guys, but these stickers absolutely drive me nuts. But anyway, I did end up getting them off. The one I did have to sand down just because the back of this is like paper, so sometimes it does lift it up. And I just wanted to show you that the one sign that I have to cut down, I got that around Christmas time. I always grab a bunch of signs just because I know I can do all kinds of things with them. But it wasn't the size that I needed it. So I just go ahead and trace it so that they can be the exact same size. So the USA one is going to be a little bit shorter, and the snowman one is just going to be a bit smaller. So after I have it marked where I want to cut it, I take my ruler and a very sharp knife, and I just score those edges. And you really only have to score it, if you have a sharp enough knife, you just score it like maybe 5 times, flip it over, and then you can bend it and cut it off. Next, I just take some lightweight spackling and I fill those holes. I did want to mention I did take these outside and I sanded off all the glitter that was on the back, because I don't know about you guys, but glitter absolutely drives me nuts. Next, I just take my white Waverly chalk paint, and I did show you the brush that I always rave about. I always say how much I love them, but I never really showed you what they look like. So these are always linked down below. They're my favorite brushes, and I just give those signs 2 really thick coats of the white Waverly chalk paint. So I set these aside to dry, and while I have my wet brush out, I had these little jars, and I believe I got them from Michael's, and they were probably about $1 a piece, and I just give those a really good coat of white Waverly chalk paint as well. For the jars, I don't worry about doing 2 coats. I did just do 1 coat because I'm going to end up distressing them anyway, so I wasn't worried about having a thick coat on these. So I set those aside to dry as well. Everything that I just painted, I set aside to dry. After the signs dried, I went on my computer, actually while they were drying, and I printed off his and hers. These are going to go above my closets. We are in the middle of redoing the closets right now. They were disgusting before, and with the baby coming, I wanted to have plenty of storage in there. So my sweet husband was nice enough to help me, so we're in the process of doing that. Stay tuned for a room makeover, farmhouse style, coming here shortly. I bought all the stuff. Now we just have to put it all together and hang up the decor and film. So anyway, I took my graphite paper, I traced the his and the hers on each sign, and then went over it with my black paint pen that I got from Walmart. Those are also linked down below. And then I take a sanding block and I do just kind of distress those a little bit. Now, be careful when you are trying to sand off paint pen. It does kind of want to bleed. That's why I didn't wipe off the dust. I took my vacuum and I vacuumed it up because I didn't want to have streaks all over it. And then I took my chip brush, which is also linked down below, but I hear that they are actually out of stock, so definitely just look at them. It's an in-store purchase. It's under my Walmart favorites, so definitely just keep an eye out for those when you go to Walmart. But I then just take some ink Waverly chalk paint and my chip brush, and I distress around the edges. If you've been around for a while, then this is no surprise to you. If you're new here, I am so glad you're here. I would love it if you would become part of this family, and I love chatting with you guys down in the comments below. So I did that to both of these signs, and then that quick and easy, you have some really cute his and hers signs. Next, I take my finger sander. This is also linked down below. I believe this is in my Walmart favorites as well, and I just go ahead and distress these jars. Now, distressing is to your liking, so I'm just showing you how I did it, but when you do it, you can do it however you like. You don't have to do it at all. You can do it with paint instead of using a sander. It's totally up to you. Next, I just take some jute cord, jute twine, whatever you like to call it, and I start by putting a little dot of hot glue behind the little mini jar, and then I just go ahead and wrap the jute all the way around that the neck I guess you can call it. I don't really know, but I just wrap it all the way around, and then once I get to the end, I put another bead of hot glue, I cut it, and then that is done. After I do the jute, I then just made 2 simple bows. If you guys have not seen my bow tutorial, it is in a video, and I will link it in the cards up above in the right hand corner. So I just go ahead and glue those onto the middle of where the jute is, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz, if you will. And my bedroom is Farmhouse Decor, so all this goes really, really good with it. I then just took these galvanized metal frames, I guess, from Dollar Tree. I took the hanger off of it. I then just took that same chip brush and the ink Waverly chalk paint that I used with the previous project, and I just kind of wanted to accent the edges. I love the way this looks. That's why I do it all the time. It just makes it more rustic and farmhouse. So I thought that it was just missing a little bit something. But again, it's always your preference. You can do this as much as you like, as little as you like. That is totally up to you, but this is the way that I like it. So after I had that, after I did the edges, I then took some hot glue and some E6000. Make sure you have your E6000 open first before you put your hot glue on, and then I just went ahead and glued that down. I used the E6000 and the hot glue because the hot glue dries fast and the E6000 is going to last. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So after I did the first one, I then just lined up the second one side by side so that they could be even, and then I glued the second one down. So you can leave them like this. I think they look super adorable just like this, but I did just want to add some greenery, and these are, I can't remember what these flowers are called, but they're just little teeny tiny white flowers. You can see more greenery, I think, so I like that. And I got these at Walmart. A big old bunch like that was about $2 and some change, I believe. So after I'm done that project, we're going to work on this silo. Now this was the highly requested video, so I wanted to show you guys. I did buy that other silo from my last video for $10, and I knew that I could make it for $1. So I just take some elephant Waverly chalk paint and a natural sponge. I get these at Walmart in the craft section. They come in a pack of 5, and they are by the brand Folk Art, and they work really good for this galvanizing technique. But I just basically go all the way around whatever I'm galvanizing with the elephant. After I've spray painted it silver, the elephant is just going to tone it down, and then you're going to go in with the white and go all the way around it. And again, this is another thing that is to your preference. You can do each color as much or as little as you like. I like to do the elephant a bit more than the white, and then the white just kind of gives off that galvanized-y look, if that makes sense. So I did do that to the hurricane and the top of our silo. I did want to mention that I did the exact same thing for both. I didn't think that you guys needed to see me doing both pieces because I did the exact same thing to both. So after I have them all galvanized up, I am so happy with the way they turned out. I then just take my knife and I pull up that tape. Now, sometimes with painter's tape, you are going to get a little bit of seepage. So some did seep down, and no big deal. All I did was just take the end of my knife and I just kind of scratched at the edges, and it cleaned it up really nicely. Now, I didn't realize that in the inside, I guess when I was spray painting, some got on the inside of my window. So I put gloves on because I'm using acetone and a Q-tip as well as a paper towel to just clean that up a bit, and this acetone will eat my nail polish right off, and you know, a girl can't have that. So after I have the inside all cleaned up, I just run a bead of hot glue all the way around the edge, and then I go ahead and attach the roof. I did want to mention, if you are using cardstock, definitely just do a thin coat of spray paint and it will not wrinkle up on you. So last but not least, I just wanted to make a little love sign. So I start with a canvas from Dollar Tree. I paint it with some ink Waverly chalk paint, and I know that anything really related to love isn't very farmhouse, I guess, but I thought that with the color scheme and the way that I have it, it did go along with my decor, but because this is going in my bedroom, I thought that the word love fit. So anyway, I had these floral letters from Michaels. I believe the brand is Martha Stewart. So I thought those would be cute. So I did just go ahead, lay out LOVE, and then I took a dabber and I did dab some white Waverly chalk paint in these stencils. Now, this is why I don't really like to use the stencil as a stencil unless they're adhesive, which these are, but they don't stick very good because, as you can see here, they do seep through. But I just take this nice and thin brush and I just clean up any spots that seeped through. I then just take my chip brush again, surprise, surprise, and I go ahead and dry brush all the way around the edges. And I did make another simple bow with some buffalo check ribbon, and I did a little bit of dry brushing throughout the whole sign. Next, I just take my bow, put a dab of hot glue, and then I glue that down. And that is it, you guys. I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. I hope you guys are excited as I am for the farmhouse bedroom makeover. I am so excited. Baby's not gonna have her own room right away, so I feel like I'm kind of nesting my bedroom because that's where she's gonna be. So I don't know, you guys, I'm just like in this crazy nesting stage where I just want to declutter and clean everything. And on Tuesday, I will be 31 weeks pregnant, you guys. I cannot believe it. Time flies so fast, and she will be here before we know it, or I, or we, whatever. So I just have this pressure to get everything perfect for her. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Don't forget, my P.O. box information is in the description box below. Share this with somebody if you think they would love it. Please give this video a big thumbs up. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love chatting with you guys down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Till you entered my door.